Let's talk about your digital life. Your profiles, your accounts, your online self. We're about to explore a massive shift in how all of that works. The big question is, do you just rent your space on the internet, or could you actually own it? That's what we're going to break down. This quote right here, it just nails the current situation perfectly. You're a digital sharecropper. Every time you click login with Google or login with Facebook, you're not really proving you're you. You're just borrowing an ID card from a giant corporation. You're building your entire digital home on land that you don't own. And this is the fundamental change we're looking at. Today, in what we call Web 2, your identity is basically rented. It's a service. But tomorrow, in Web 3, the whole idea is that your identity becomes a core asset, something you actually own and control yourself. Okay, so let's start with this system we all live and breathe right now. Your identity on loan. We're going to look at the hidden risks behind that super convenient little login with Google button we all press without a second thought. Just think about it for a second. If Google or Facebook decides to ban your account, for whatever reason, right or wrong, you don't just lose your social media. You could lose access to your Spotify playlist, your Airbnb history, everything connected to it. Years of photos, connections, your entire online reputation, poof, gone. And of course, all along, your data is the real product being bought and sold. Okay, so that's the problem. It's a bit scary, right? But what if there was another way? This is where things get really exciting. Let's pivot to the solution. It's time to talk about what it actually means to own your digital self, like a declaration of digital independence. I want you to imagine having one single username for the entire internet, something simple like alex.eth, and you could use it everywhere. But here's the kicker. That name isn't owned by a company. It's owned by you. It's registered on a global, decentralized network called a blockchain. This is the bedrock of what we call self-sovereign identity. So how does this actually work? Is it magic? Not quite. It's a set of really clever new technologies designed to make this ownership possible. So let's open up the Web3 Identity Toolkit and look at the three main tools that bring this whole vision to life. First up is something called ENS, which stands for the Ethereum Name Service. The easiest way to get it is to think about how websites work. You know how the domain name system, or DNS, turns a complicated IP address into an easy name like google.com? Well, ENS does the exact same thing, but for crypto addresses. And this right here is the result. It takes that total mass of letters and numbers on the left, that's a crypto wallet address, by the way, and it turns it into something clean and simple that a human can actually remember, like yourname.eth. All of a sudden, this complex system starts to feel usable. The second tool is a total game changer for how we log in. Get this, no more passwords. Instead, you just click a button that says Connect Wallet. Your digital wallet pops up and asks you to cryptographically sign a message, which is basically just a super secure way of proving, yep, it's me. And you're in. The most important part, your private key, the master key to your identity, never ever leaves your device. It's just a fundamentally safer way to use the web. All right, for the third tool, let's talk about social media. You know the deal. All your followers, your friends, your whole online community, it's locked away inside a company's database. If you get fed up with Twitter and decide to leave, guess what? You're starting completely from scratch somewhere else. That's the trap. Now imagine a portable social graph. In this world, your list of friends and followers are assets that you own, stored right in your wallet. That means you can just show up to a new app, connect your wallet, and boom, your community is right there with you. This totally flips the script. It forces apps to actually be good and compete on their features, not on the fact that they've got your data held hostage. Okay, so a true identity is more than just a username and a list of friends, right? It's about your reputation, your achievements, your credentials. So how do you prove those things in this new digital world without having to broadcast all your private information to everyone? Let's get into that. A big piece of the puzzle is something called soul-bound tokens, or SBTs. Now, don't get hung up on the name. Just think of them as digital credentials that are permanently tied to you. They can't be sold or transferred. Your university could issue your diploma as an SBT. A conference could give you one for attending. They become these little verifiable building blocks that create your reputation online. But wait a minute. This all probably raises a huge red flag. If my degree and all these other credentials are on a public blockchain, doesn't that mean my entire life story is out there for anyone to see? That's a really good question, and a very important one. And thankfully, there's a really clever answer. And that answer is a bit of cryptographic magic called zero-knowledge proofs. Let's use the classic example. You need to prove you're over 21 to enter a website. Your digital wallet has your driver's license info, but instead of showing the whole ID, it just generates a mathematical proof that says, I can confirm the birth date on this ID makes the holder over 21. The website gets a simple yes without ever learning your name, your address, or even your actual birthday. It's verification without revelation. Now, this all sounds like a pretty amazing feature, doesn't it? But we've got to be realistic. This isn't something that's just going to happen overnight. The road to true digital ownership is still being paved, and there are some pretty big challenges and some really important choices we all need to think about. And maybe one of the biggest challenges of all is this. As AI gets scarily good and bots become impossible to tell from real people, how on earth do you prove that you are a unique, living, breathing human being online? This is the proof of personhood problem. This question has led to some, controversial projects like WorldCoin. The idea is to scan your eyeball, your iris, to give you a unique digital ID that can't be faked. On one hand, supporters say it could definitively solve the bot problem. On the other hand, critics are, for obvious reasons, really concerned about the privacy of giving a corporation your biometric data. It's a huge debate, and there are no easy answers.
And let's just be totally honest about where we are right now. This whole world is still under construction. The technology is new, it can be confusing, it can be messy. It is definitely not user-friendly enough for most people just yet. We're still in the very early days.
And that brings us to what is maybe the biggest hurdle of all, which is, ironically, also its greatest strength. With true ownership comes true responsibility. If you lose the private key to your wallet, you lose everything. There is no customer support line. There is no forgot password link to click. It's all on you. And so that really is the final, crucial question we're left with. Is it worth it? Is the absolute freedom of true digital ownership worth the ultimate responsibility of being your own bank, your own platform, and your own keymaster? That's the choice we all have to make as we build this new version of the internet.